here with no GameSpot staff members.
Nope.
We have been
None.
usurped,
Supplanted.
thrown out.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
It's a coup.
That's a way better one. Matthew Mercer from Critical Role. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Marisha Ray.
Hi.
From Critical Role.
That's
also,
me. Yeah.
How are you doing?
Double dip in there.
I know. We're going to
I
be
know.
triple and quad dipping in a second.
Man,
'Cause we-
that sounds sexy.
we roll deep.
Quad
We came in
dipping.
posses.
Quad dipping.
The old quad dip. Yeah. Sex Ed. Number 1, episode 1.
You learned it here, folks.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a Sugar Ray lyric or something. I kind of
Yeah,
know what
quad
that is. That old quad dip.
That's what'll bring him back in the forefront.
Yeah, exactly. The kids love him.
Oh, yeah.
That's a reference everyone's going to figure. Thank you so much for coming in.
for having
We
us.
had a lot of fun around this table about an hour ago playing some
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, how'd you like it? Did you have
I
fun?
loved it. D&D is one of the, we were talking just before we went live about how you had that friend who had a Nintendo who you sort of kept close to.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
D&D is one of those things, if you have a good like dungeon master, it's such a great like thing to be able to
you want
do.
to keep them around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're
right?
good to
So,
have.
Like I knew some people in London when I lived there for a while who were good at it, and we kind of dipped in a little bit since I moved here. Did a little bit with giantbomb.com, our sister website.
Oh, nice.
But
Nice.
haven't really like gotten into it properly in a couple of years until today again.
There you
So
go.
thank you very much.
Oh, welcome for coming back.
You're a fantastic DM.
I was gonna say you also have like the patron saint of DMs
Right.
here,
It's
so
not
it's privilege.
all.
Don't lie.
It's the sounds of fish beasts being torn apart. It's
I
like
have I spent a lot of time alone when I was a kid, okay? You got to find ways to pass the time, like making sounds of fish heads being pulled apart.
Yeah.
No, it's great. And I think more so now it's a good survival technique for younger adolescent,
Right.
social environments. Not so much when I was younger. When
Yeah.
a whole lot of kids are like, oh, you're a good dungeon master? He can stay around. No, you didn't really have that reaction when I was a kid. But yeah, it's been really cool to watch this whole tabletop renaissance over
Right.
these past years and so many more people, one, getting back into the game, or two, realizing what they were missing when they were growing up and trying it out for the first time and finding out it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Over the next hour, we're going to talk a lot about video game stuff. But for the moment, I do want to talk about that with you guys because they're like, I don't know, the internet's that mechanism that allows the sort of smaller pockets of our society to be seen by way more people, and in doing so, it sort of like gathers all those people
Right.
around, right?
And
Yeah.
I was gonna say it allows people to find their niche.
Yeah.
To find their crowd.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be like little niches anymore.
There's no such thing.
There's it's like previously geographical boundaries or like cultural boundaries sort of
Right.
have disappeared. So what's happened with you guys with Critical Role, obviously on Geek and Sundry, and you've got like their audience has been building as well. But like your show has exploded in like a very short period of time. Like it's been on for what, just over a year? At
Just
this
over a
stage?
year,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What was that something you expected to happen?
No. No.
We're still kind of holding on for dear life. We played the game privately for 2 years beforehand, and it wasn't our initial idea to turn it into a show. We were asked to take it online by Felicia with Geek and Sundry, and we were kind of remiss about it at first, because when you take something that's very personal and you
Right.
enjoy it in closed space and then put it in front of cameras on the internet, you're like standing in front of a firing squad of commenters being
Just painting a giant target
Yeah.
on your chest.
Yeah, and so we were initially worried about that transition, and we figured, we'll give it a shot. If people like it, maybe we'll do it for a little bit. If it doesn't work out, we'll just go back to our game at home. And we found such an amazing community that continued to grow and grow over time and it didn't have a huge impact on how we played the game and enjoyed it, which was our
Right.
biggest worry. So we just kept doing it and figuring out where it might land, and it's just gotten so much bigger than we ever expected.
Yeah. And the other side to this, obviously, is that you're video game voice actors as well by trade. And when you like put that in front of like a, web producer, like video producer, it's like fucking gold, right? It's like D&D, which basically involves like putting on accents and being able to be
On your good
verbose,
days.
right?
Yeah.
yeah. It's a tough
Totally.
one.
Yeah.
I thought you did a pretty great Irish.
Thank
you
you.
did great.
See?
Yeah.
Seriously, I walked in and you were like, I'm not even gonna try, and your natural Irish accent. And I was like, oh shit, there goes everything out the window.
My one
That's done.
disappears too. I mean, we were both in Ireland a couple of weeks ago, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one gets like well thicker when I go home.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then my girlfriend's like, "Who the fuck are you?" She's like,
Can't understand a thing you're saying.
You Americanize
Why?
your accent when you're at home. How dare you?
How dare you?
I know. I actually did an American accent for her last night, and it freaked her the fuck out.
Yeah.
She was like, "No, stranger danger."
Just stop.
No, couldn't hear it.
That's great. Just wake her up at like 4 a.m. when she's sleeping, like,
Yeah,
Hi.
honey, there's someone at the door, or something like that.
she's like, no!
Yeah. Who are you?
Beating you with the pillow.
Terrible.
It's important.
So I guess you brought it then onto Geek and Sundry.
Yeah.
Do you think that audience was already looking for a D&D show, or have you like brought in a lot of people? Like, where's your audience coming from? Who are they?
It started the Geek and Sundry audience, which it was a phenomenal community of like-minded geeks and gamer fans. A lot of them came in through like Will Wheaton's Tabletop, and so they're big tabletop enthusiasts and,
It was
and board
definitely
games.
the right audience to dive into.
Right, yeah,
They were the ones who kind of started the inertia, and then word of mouth, man. Can't knock it.
Yeah, it's
Good, tried and true, old fashioned.
Yeah,
It works.
It started there, and it began to become just kind of this weird thing. There aren't a lot of, there were a lot of other real play game shows that were on YouTube and such.
Yeah.
But to do like live real play, we're by no means the first.
Yeah.
And there were great shows that I watched for years beforehand that I thought were great examples of D&D playing. We just happened to find an audience of people that were at that time that wanted to see what it was about, and especially with Twitch, which is a great format for other gamers who are on there for League of Legends and other game types to just come across the front page on a Thursday and be like, why is there a bunch of people standing here? Click on it and be like, I don't know what's happening. And then an hour later be like, oh, now I get Dungeons & Dragons. Or at least I never knew it played like this. And people all of a sudden get this renewed interest in something they never really thought about or thought they could understand.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to watch that grow. So it's this weird organic expansion.
That's what.
Still, my favorite comment though is, "What the shit am I watching?"
Yep.
Every episode,
It's a little victory every time.
Every time, what the shit is this?
So are you actually like converting people, like window shoppers who are just like
Oh
on the
yeah,
front page of Twitch?
we've gotten inundated with tweets now weekly about people who have started their own D&D game campaigns or have decided to pick up a Dungeon Master guide and start Dungeon Mastering on their own. So every time we see one of those, we're like, one of us, the power, yes.
Spread the joy. Yeah.
So what do you think is like the special sauce of Critical Role that has made it like expand so quickly?
I don't know. The only way I can think of, because there are a lot of shows that I really like, and I think what I like about the shows that I've watched in the past, like the real role play guys with it's me JP and the stuff that a lot of those folks have done is it's a group of friends playing a game. If you just take random people and put them together to run a game, sometimes it's fun, but there's something to be said about people who have built a rapport over time and maintain that feel of just like chilling in their living room unwatched playing a game and less performing for the audience. And since we're all naturally kind of bombastic indoor kids that talk to ourselves a lot of the time, it's an easy transition for us. And so I think that is part of the appeal, if anything, is the fact that we're all just been close friends playing this game for a long time, so we have that rapport built in. And I don't know, honestly, that's the best I can guess. We're still trying to figure it out ourselves. We're just glad people show up every week to watch it.
It is hard to say because we're not consumers.
Right.
You maybe can probably even answer that question better than us.
It seems to be the sort of each other's tells. Like it's very comfortable.
Yeah, we've been doing this now for 3 years with each other. Yeah. So because we were playing the game for about 2 years when we started the stream.
Right.
So we were very comfortable. I think it's also something has to be said about the raw storytelling element of it, because when the show first got pitched and introduced, the problem was that it wasn't going to be visually engaging enough for today's audience.
Yeah, it's like people sitting down talking to each other
right,
for 3 to 4 hours.
And even even the cast, we were like, there's no way anyone is going to want to listen to this. But it kind of harkens back to the old sitting around a campfire telling an Iliad kind of feel to it. And I think it shows how important storytelling is, especially in today's medium, when you start stripping away all the VFX and all the flash that you see in modern storytelling today in movies and whatnot. And it still shows that people still need and want a solid story.
Especially if you've got a very good storyteller, which you guys do have.
Yeah.
Like there was some when we did the stream earlier today. Like everything, each of your characters, the way you were like reacting, the way you were like planning attacks, and not just the voices, but just like the body language of it all. Like in my head, when I think about what we just did, like I see the marsh. Like I see exactly what happened. I see the big maelstrom beast of bones and drugs that we battled.
It's a very powerful thing, isn't it? It's crazy.
Do you think it has something as well to do with the ability of people to consume like different types of media, like during their day? Because Twitch is kind of this this platform that, you know, like television has always been you sit in front of it and you sort of engage with it on a moment by moment basis.
Sure.
Whereas this seems like something you could have on in the background that you're sort of like enjoying while you're engaging with your day-to-day life. I mean, people were tweeting today saying like, oh yeah, I'm on my lunch break. Yeah, I'm just like spending a couple of minutes, or I've got it like in my tab here. And
Right,
because
where
it's
they're
audio,
working.
you actually
Right.
get quite a lot out of it.
Yeah.
It's almost like a radio play in ways.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
an improvised radio play. And so, you know, there's a lot of really cool elements of watching because you get to see the physical expressions and reactions and looks of surprise and, you know, the maps and the minis and all the fun stuff that's involved there with the physicality. But you don't need that either. There are a lot of people that just listen to it while they're doing chores or getting their taxes done. And
Oh, you just reminded me.
oh, sorry,
I know,
just
it's-
destroyed everyone's
yeah,
week.
it's almost April.
But that's also, you know, what's cool about this format is you can just listen to the full audio and continue about your day and have this adventure going on behind you the whole time.
And I think it's something different that the story, anyone who's watching it, they're discovering the story with the players.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you watch it live, there's definitely, you have an adrenaline that kicks in when you start seeing us in moments of peril. And I think you wouldn't, you know, you don't necessarily get that when it's a movie. You
Or a
can,
game.
or a game, but I think when you're watching it live and you realize that we're experiencing it live with you, it creates almost a more interactive experience in a weird way.
Or you feel more present probably because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel like you're a part of the story as it's being created around you. If that
incredible.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.